Hello, everybody. This is Gayle Nowak with the Story Stylist, and I'm speaking today with Beth Greenawalt, who is a parent coach and founder of Parenting Solutions. And she helps parents raise children who feel seen, supported, and loved for who they truly are, which I think is especially important during these trying and challenging times, but is certainly important all of the time. So she's going to be talking to us today about what do we do when the novelty of being at home with the kids wears off? So welcome, Beth.
Hi, Gail. Thanks so much. Just a quick clarification. My company is Parent Solutions, Parent-Solutions, not to be confused with the Parenting Solutions. That is another company. So I just want to make sure people can find me. Yeah, what do we do, right? So here we are, for some of us about a week in here, and I'm starting to feel it too. What is this? This is really our new normal, and how are we going to handle it? And I believe that the thing that's most helpful is to come down to the basics and what's most important. I coach parents on defining their values as parents and how they want to raise their kids. And a really common set of values is love, kindness, and respect. The shorthand for that is LKR. So practicing LKR, love, kindness, and respect in your family, in your household, in whatever way and shape and form that takes. Getting into just the basics of what are some things that make each person in the family just feel happy. And it would be a fun conversation to have with all the family members. What is that one thing? And I have found that I love this Black Eyed Peas song, I Got a Feeling. And I remembered the video when they did a flash mob for Oprah, like I forget how many years ago. And I watched that the other day, and the joy, the authentic joy on her face made me so happy. So I'm playing that song. I just every once in a while feel like I need to hear that song right now, and it makes me really happy. So what is that for you? What is that for your kids? So that you can plug that in when the mood starts to get low, or people start to get frustrated, or we're too much in each other's spaces. What's that thing that lifts you and your family up?
I love that piece of advice. I had a similar moment earlier this week where it was things were kind of getting to me. I was getting all stressed about, I haven't been productive, rah, rah, rah. And I could kind of feel like the unraveling. I don't know if any of your clients ever describe it that way, but I was just like, okay, I'm going into that negative sort of place. And we all just kind of stopped what we were doing. And I said, okay, let's just what are we grateful for today? Let's just all get in the office and get to the whiteboard and write down a couple of things. And it was amazing how just that simple act of recognizing, right, that you're frustrated or you're feeling negative or whatever it happens to be at the moment, stopping, taking a breath and focusing on, like you said, that kindness and that respect and that love, and just taking a moment to reconnect. Amazing. I was amazed at how much better I felt, but clearly everybody else was kind of like, it was like that reset moment.
Yeah. The mood shifts. Right.
Absolutely.
Right. I think we also have to remember that this is not normal, and we've only been in it for a really short amount of time. And that if you get to that place where you feel like, oh my God, I didn't get the work from home done, and the kids aren't doing their homeschooling like they're supposed to, and I have all this stuff, you know what? Drop it. We really have to just do what we really need right now. And for most of us, I think that's a focus on some self-care, because this has been thrown at us like a tornado. We haven't had time to ramp up and get used to it. And we're supposed to hit the ground running, and that's not realistic for anybody. So on those days, what you did was great. But we also have to give ourselves a break and say, you know what, maybe for the rest of the day, we put away the school. We're going to have to just put the meeting on hold or set some boundaries around when I'm going to be available, and do some things that feel like self-care for you and for your kids.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I think that's a really interesting perspective, because it is, I feel like, and I don't know if it's like this all around the world, but I feel like especially for the US, we have that drive, that
Mm-hmm.
insatiable drive. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, we're just gonna adapt to the situation. Keep
Mm-hmm.
on, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. And I think in some ways the whole point of this is to sort of break that pattern in a
Yeah.
way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
really re-examine what's important, and what's important is the people that you care about in your
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
And it's not realistic to be expected that two parents work 40 hours a week at home with children
Right.
who are also then supposed to be doing their schoolwork. This is not possible.
Yeah.
So we have to really start to think about, okay, what is possible for my family? What are the expectations I want? And how can we get through this in the most mentally, if not physically, healthy way? So it means setting some boundaries and saying, this is what's okay right now, and this is what's not. And in any and all aspects of your life.
Right. Right. So why are you so passionate about this?
It's my passion the drive of my work is to help children feel loved, supported, and connected to their parents, seen and heard for who they are. So when I work with parents, it's to help them make that connection with the children in their lives. And so here we are now in this time where we actually have this really beautiful opportunity to have more time with these people that we brought into the world, that are part of our lives and however they showed up, and spend some time with them. Kids need connection with their parents. And here's a time for you to find those places where you most connect, what you really enjoy doing together as a family, what you like to do individually with each child, so that actually we can come out of this feeling more connected than we did going in.
Do you have any tips for parents who, or families in general, just helping to navigate kind of the greater connection with families, with grandparents, with aunts and uncles and cousins? And I know for me, I have one child who's really extremely extroverted, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's just regular extroverted. I'm a little bit more on the introverted side, and then I have another child that's a little bit more on the introverted child side, and
Mm-hmm.
she seems to be rolling with this a little bit
Mm-hmm.
better.
Yeah.
Um, so for my extrovert, she kind of had a moment where she was like, I really miss my friends.
Mm-hmm.
um, the schools are kind of working on ways to help the kids connect. Um, but when it comes to the family, like the bigger family beyond, this household, how are you helping your clients sort of navigate that too, since we're supposed to be physically distant from each other?
Mm. I I mean, in my own personal life, I'm finding that people and we are reaching out to one another in ways that we don't usually do. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we have a happy hour scheduled for Sunday night over Zoom with some friends in California who we normally only see over the summer because our summer homes are near one another. I know that, there's so many. I was thinking this last night, how blessed we are to have the technology that we actually have
Mm-hmm.
in this time, because your daughter can plan regular, you know, friend dates with her friends on Zoom or whatever platform teenagers use today, to just be together like this and chit chat just as if they were all sitting together in somebody's room and catching up on life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So making those opportunities available and scheduling some time for some of those so that you know regularly, okay, every Wednesday night we're going to have dinner with grandma and grandpa. And I've heard people actually planning to make the same meal. So, okay, everybody's having meatloaf and mashed potatoes, and we're all just going to have the computers on the table, and we're just going to eat and talk as if we were all together. So we have some really brilliant technological solutions to this, and it's just a matter of being a little creative and planning some stuff. And I think that people are going to actually start to feel a little more connected than less. That's what I've heard from
Mhm.
some people, because they realize, they're reaching out and having more regular conversations than they normally do.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that even in the neighborhood, like everybody's out walking because we have nothing else to do, right? So we're
Mm-hmm.
all walking around, we're keeping our distance.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting to see like people are just sitting out on their steps
Yeah.
and just hanging out, that they're hanging out with their families close by on the
Mm-hmm.
steps, but you're walking around and you have all these conversations with your neighbors, and in some ways it feels like going back to a simpler time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is an opportunity to be creative about how we kind of like, this is really forcing us to use our mental muscle a little bit. Like, okay, how am I going to connect now? Because I can't connect in the way that I'm used to connecting.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a cartoon, a New Yorker cartoon a couple days ago, and it was a guy on his computer, and his thought bubble was, wait, you mean we could have handled all of this via email? We haven't had to meet in person for all this time? I think that some of it is going to be learning that we can be more efficient. We
Mm-hmm.
can work in a more efficient way and get as much done, and in a smaller window of time, and bring back that balance of more family time, more connectivity with the people that matter. I agree that in the United States, the balance of how we use our time is skewed, and it's not skewed in a positive way. So I'm hopeful that this is going to open people up, and once life gets back to normal, we hold into some of these new ways of being, and we stand in our values and in our boundaries and say, no, I'm going to be done with work at 5 o'clock, because I want that nighttime with my kids. I want time for us to play and go to the park and do something fun between dinner and bed, because it was really meaningful when you had the opportunity. And the nice thing is we have, it's probably going to be about a month or so, and all the studies say that it takes about a month to imbibe a new habit, to
Mm-hmm.
really make that real for you. So here's a real opportunity to ingrain some new habits that are really positive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that you've got some workshops and you're working with parents right now, helping them kind of weather this situation. But, I think that your work, it just naturally helps people weather whatever life throws at you. Right. When you're,
That's my
when you're
hope.
parenting, it's kind of like, I don't know, nobody gave me the manual. So I'm just kind of
Mhm.
doing this on the fly anyway. So what kind of, programs and information that are you sharing with your community right now?
Well, I currently I'm offering a free parent coaching session for anyone between now and the end of the month. You can reach out to me at beth@parent-solutions.com, and I can schedule you for that. I just did a webinar last night on boundaries, how to set and hold boundaries, and I'm going to look into how I can edit that and perhaps put that up on my website so that people can have a little short little taste of and an understanding of how to set and hold boundaries for you and your family. There are blogs on my website and some other resources, books that I think are really great. And I'm always available to talk with you about your particular and personal challenges that you're experiencing. We all need somebody to talk to. We're all trying to figure this out day by day. And if I can help you understand a little better who your kids are, how to manage what's going on and balance this, 24/7 family time, then, I'm here for you.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today and sharing some great tips to help us, you know, enjoy being with our family, right? Let's enjoy being with
Yes.
family. Right. Excellent. Thank you, Beth.
All right. Bye, Gail.